Alright, what's up, YouTube? You're X99. This is probably going to be a longer video because I have a. Or maybe not, I don't know. But it probably will because every deck profile I do is like half an hour long. So if you want to skip me talking in the beginning, go right ahead. But I went to Bosch Sneak Peek over the weekend. Obviously, I had to, given I'm playing PePe. And I absolutely hate the Magician cards, that deck. I do not like it. At all. It doesn't, I don't know, it just never seems to work out for me. It's a weird kind of deck in a way, if that makes any sense. Probably not. But I went, phone. I went with the intent of getting everything for the new PePe deck, and I did. That was fun. I actually pulled Jank on Saturday, but Sunday I pulled this amazing card. We'll get to that. And there's actually an interesting kind of ruling. Well, not directly related to this card, but involving this card that if you're playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, you should probably know about if you don't already. But I'll get to that. Anyway, I didn't play in a tournament on Saturday. I didn't really feel like it, and I also didn't have the Infinity. And then Sunday, again, didn't really feel like it, but my friend was like, just do it. You have the best deck, you'll win. I'm like, all right. And I ended up taking first place in the tournament. I know it's just a local, but actually 2-0'd everybody. I didn't lose a single game. I was testing with my friend beforehand. We played a couple matches, and I 2-0'd him twice. He was playing Infernoids, and like the deck gets, even like Mistake, which is like poison to this deck, like it just got around it. Because it's not hard. This deck is so crazy. But I played a Necroz deck, which I know. A hero deck. Again, a mirror match, although he only had one sorcerer. And he was actually one of the better players at my locals, and he had like very little knowledge of the deck, did not play it very well, made some really terrible mistakes, which I thought was funny, so I blew him out. And then I had to play, and then in the last round, there were 3 undefeated, but my locals only does 4 rounds because they do 2 tournaments, and they just want to get to the next one. There were 3 undefeateds. I ended up getting paired down, and I played against a Red Eyes deck. And then game 1, he like summons the fusion guy, and I'm just like, Ignister, phew. And then game 2, he elects to go first, looks at his hand, passes without making a play, and I had nuts, so I killed him. Or even if I didn't have the nuts, I'd be able to kill him because his deck like doesn't brick. Like even if you like draw certain cards that you don't want to, it's still good. So I'm just gonna get into the list. This is exactly how I played it. I am planning on taking this deck to a regional over the weekend on Saturday. But I might change it till then. Either way, I'll do an update if I get an invite or something like that. But I don't know. And then I have to go back to school on Tuesday, or next Tuesday of like next week, so I still have this week. And I have to work tonight, so I'm upset. So anyway, here's the deck. 3 luster, cards the tits. I was theorying with my friend on Saturday. We were talking about the deck because he's trying to build it too, although he doesn't have all the cards yet. He still needs like just like the new stuff. He has like lusters and stuff. But anyway, we decided to play 1 vector, and I'm pretty sure this is correct because the way we discussed it was that, or it was more his idea, that this is to Draco Face-Off, or Draco Rivals. It's Draco Face-Off. As Garnet is to Brilliant Fusion. You don't want to draw this card because this doesn't really do anything. Yes, it has a decent pendulum effect, but it actually really doesn't help that much in the mirror because it's just so easy to out this. Like with Ignister, Castel, Wavering Eyes, like it's just a card. They're your other search target with face-off, so you just use one of these. And you don't really need to resolve face-off more than once, and you don't want to draw this otherwise. So it's just a level 4 Pendulum monster. That's really all it is. And we also decided not to play Master Pendulum, the new card. I was testing with it. It was pretty bad. It's irrelevant. Like you want to get this anyway because you need a Draco Slayer and a Drake Overlord. And if Master Pendulum was a Drake Overlord, then maybe, but it's a Slayer, so you just want to get this card because we're not playing Mass Chameleon either. And then for the Perform Ages, we have the 3 Plush Fire, still 1 Mirror Conductor, or I don't know if I only played 1 in my last list that I showed, but yeah, 1 is all you need. You don't really use him as a scale that much. I use him more just for his effect, to be honest with you. Very good. Just you can swing over there, Ignister. It's pretty ridiculous. So the thing is 0 defense. It's so pathetic, but for such a broken card, I get it. So yeah, that card is good, but you just need 1 because you don't really want to see it too much. And then also this deck like is so tight. Like it's so hard to. Like, if I had to take out 1 card, like, right now, like, I don't even know what I would take out. Like, it's so hard. But, yeah, 3 Juggler. Obviously, someone told me to cut this to 2, and then I smacked them across the face. No, you need 3 of these, if only just to counter Wavering Eyes and things like that, and just for more targets for Plush Fire. And then 1 and 1, because that's all you need for the clowns. And then for the pals, we have 3 Joker, just the leftover from the Magician, but you don't play Magicians in this deck because Magicians are terrible. And this card just searches for all your pals, except himself. And it's so crazy that this thing isn't once per turn, so like you can just like, it's so dumb. And then new cards. This card is broken. The 3 Sorcerer. Yes, I got my 3 Sorcerer on Saturday, actually. I didn't pull any of them. I think only 4 were pulled that day, and I think 1 on Sunday. But anyway, this card is absolutely amazing. It is my favorite card in the deck, hands down. If you don't know what it does, because you're a little slow, that's okay. It's a level 4. It's a Perform Pal. Scale 2. If this 15 800, its stats don't really matter. It's also an Earth, so. But yeah, this card, if this is special summoned, you can target up to 2 cards you control, destroy them, and if you do, you can add Performapal monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except himself for each monster destroyed. So you basically just add 2, well, it's up to 2, but even if you like destroy something in the Pendulum Zone, when it's destroyed, it becomes a monster, so you still get the search. And then it can't search himself, and then you can only use that effect once per turn. Its Pendulum effect was kind of irrelevant, although I did use it to actually win a game against my friend in testing. Its Pendulum effect is if a Perform Pal monster or monsters is Pendulum summoned to your side of the field, all Perform Pal monsters you control gain 1,000 attack until the end of the turn, even if this leaves the field. So I Pendulum summoned out a Lizdra with this on board, and I had a Trapeze, so this became 28, and Lizdra became 22. So it was pretty dumb. So yeah, this card is absolutely amazing. Like you need 3. Like it's so good. It's like $100 right now, but I think they're like 90 something on eBay actually. But yeah, amazing card. I love it so much. And then another new card, which also makes this deck really broken, is Monkey Board. Its monster effect, again, is irrelevant. You're never going to summon this. I don't even know what its monster effect is, but its Pendulum effect, unless you have a Perform Pal monster in your other zone, it becomes a scale 4, so you need to know that. So you always want to put this with another Perform Pal, obviously. Because then you can't summon your level 4s, and that's just what this deck does. It just brings out a bunch of level 4s. But its more important effect is if this card is during the turn this card is activated, during your main phase, you can add a level 4 or lower Perform Pal monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can only use that effect once per turn. So yeah, just search for everything. So like Skullcrobat, search for this search for that. Or the next card, Giturtle. Or Gitartle, excuse me. Again, monster effect irrelevant, you're never going to summon it. It's a level 1, so you can't even Pendulum summon. It's like you can like change the scale or something like that. It doesn't matter. Its Pendulum effect is if a Perform Pal monster is activated in your other Pendulum Zone, you can draw a card, and then you can only do that once per turn. We decided to play, that's a scale 6, by the way, so your scale is pretty much always going to be these 2. or well, unless you're using the Luster, but the Luster, this deck is played very differently. Again, your scales are usually this, and the Luster is usually summoned just to be a tuner to make Ignister. Um, so yeah, we decided to play two of this just because if you need to pop it, it's more search targets for your sorcerer, and if you need to pop it, like you can always add another one and reactivate it, and just it's really good. Two is definitely the correct number as far as I'm concerned. And then one Lizdra. If you have perform pile in your other pendulum zone, you can destroy this card and draw a card. So you can just go like activate, activate, and then draw two. Or because you always want to obviously set this first before you set the monkey board. If you don't have this, like if you open like monkey board and like nothing else, you can go monkey board for Lizdra, then you can pendulum summon, and then you can pop this and draw a card. So it's good, and it's a reptile, so you can search it through Feral Imps as well. It's just another target for that. And we decided to play Palomaro over Masked Chameleon because, well, actually, this was a suggestion by someone else. I was playing Masked Chameleon, and like this is just better. Omega is a great card, but you'd rather do Nat Beast like 9 times out of 10, just or almost 10 out of 10, because just everyone is going to be playing this deck or some sort of pendulum deck. I assume for the regional, there's still going to be a lot of Magician Pendulum just because, like, the set doesn't officially drop till Friday, so a lot of people probably don't have all this stuff, or at least the sorcerers. So yeah, Palomaro is very good. And I felt with Palomaro, like, your normal summon's very important because you need the Joker. So we are also playing the Brilliant Fusion Engine, which I initially took out because I thought it was irrelevant, and then I realized that it's just too good not to play. Again, I feel that Garnet at 1 is the correct number. I did open this a bunch of times. Well, maybe like 3 times, I believe I opened this on Sunday. But again, I 2-0'd everyone, so which again, I know it's a local and doesn't really mean that much, but still, it just shows that this deck can do more than just dump out a Brilliant Fusion. But yeah, like but the cool thing about this deck, and because it never bricks, if you open a Brilliant Fusion, like you just going second, like you just win, like as simple as that. Unless they have like all the traps in the world, but even then, like you should still win if you can resolve a Brilliant Fusion. And then 3 Draco Face Off. Another new card. What this does, it's a quick play, which it honestly doesn't even need to be a quick play, but it's cool that it is. You can reveal a Draco Slayer Pendulum Monster and a Drake Overlord Pendulum Monster from your deck, and then your opponent randomly chooses one. So I've just been rolling a die, even odd, or you can toss a coin or whatever it is, or you can put them face down and shuffle. But I think the die is the best way to go. Just if you're playing in competitive play. For me, your randomly chooses one, and the one they pick is the one they pick you can either put in your Pendulum Zone or special summon it. It's up to you, and the other one goes to your extra deck, and then you can only activate one of these per turn, obviously. So yeah, again, this is just a way to put Luster on board. I usually don't summon it because that plus Luster and Plush Fire is very good, but you'd still need a low scale. And again, Monkey Board is a low scale, but it becomes a force, so you can't do anything. So unless you have access to the Mirror Conductor, you're going to want to summon it just so you can make Ignister, which is usually the better play to make, because again, your scales usually want your scales to be Monkey Board and Guitartle or Lizdra, but you just always want to have Monkey Board like in your scale. Like, it's just so much better. But also for that reason, we cut Wavering Eyes to 2. Because in this deck, I know my mat keeps moving. In this deck, Wavering Eyes is played very differently. It's used as a counter in this deck for your opponent, which seems like kind of weird. Like, so, in the sense that like if you're using it, if it's supposed to be used as a counter, like everyone, like it's just not going to be activated. But you just want to use this to blow out your opponent or to counter their Wavering Eyes. But it's not necessary at 3 because unlike in the Magician build or earlier versions of PePe, when you activate Wavering Eyes to kill, with the intent like mostly just to kill yours, because your scales usually aren't level 4 monsters. Like, I mean, again, unless you have like the Luster. I'm like, if you open like Luster Plush Fire and this, that's fine. I mean, if they have the Juggler, they have the Juggler, but This, using with Monkey Board and Guitar, if those are in your Pendulum Scale, this is just used as a counter, and otherwise you definitely want to side this out in non-pendulum matchups because it just does nothing for you. Because you can't you can't summon the Monkey Board, and you can't pendulum summon the Monkey Board and Guitar, so they're just dead cards in your extra deck basically once they go there. So like you can't get them back, which is why you play 3 Monkey Board, 2 Guitar. But anyway, yeah, Wavering Eyes, again, played differently in this deck. It's not as, I don't see this as much of a broken card in this version of the deck. So like, I mean, if this card were to get banned, like, I wouldn't even care. I actually wouldn't even mind, because like then I would have extra spaces in this deck. 2 instant fusion. Norden is still amazing, and you can make infinity really easily. So that's why we play that. And then for the traps, warning, strike, and emptiness. I could only get 1 strike yesterday, but this lineup was perfectly fine. I would definitely cut the emptiness for the next strike because it's like it has the same purpose, and emptiness. I mean, granted, emptiness plus infinity, like, you should win with infinity anyway, but, like, emptiness and infinity, like, it's just, like, a lockdown. Like, it's so disgusting. And then warning is I still think this is a very good card to play, just because this only stops summons and monster effects. This can stop cards that summon things, because this will only stop inherent summons. So yeah, but I mean, it's a lower cost. Not that life points really matter. Anyway, but still a very good card. I won a game against. I beat the hero player at my locals because he had no. I had a pretty nutty field anyway. I would have won it even if I didn't have this, but I had this set, and he has no cards on the field, nothing in hand. He top decks the E call into Bubble Man, special summons it to try and get the draw 2, and I'm just like, game. So yeah, that was pretty nutty. But these 3 traps are really great. But this would definitely come out for another strike. But again, I do like warning. So I feel like 3 strike would be the right way to do it. But I wouldn't mind 2 strike and a warning either. That would be perfectly fine. But I still think this card is necessary, especially in this format. I'll flash my side deck real quick. I'm not really going to talk about it, but like it's pretty self-explanatory. So Maxi, Flying Sea, like this should just, there's no room in the main. Like Flying Sea, goes so good. This card's really good right now. Danko, I opened this against Heroes too, and he had the warning though. But it made him waste the warning at least, which was my purpose because I summoned the Danko, he had the warning. I'm like, okay, cool, Brilliant Fusion, GG. The third Wavering Eyes, because you definitely want this in the mirror match. MSTs and Iron Walls to stop floodgates and floodgates. So yeah, side deck's like, I don't know, that's always subject to change because it's just the side. And then the extra deck. One thing, I didn't play a Direwolf. I had to cut it for other things. I never needed it, but I do want to play it for the regional, even though I never make Direwolf. In any deck I play, I never make Direwolf. I think in my entire life I've made it like twice, which is really sad. Norden, because it's broken. Seraphinite, because it's broken. Although I don't know if later versions of this deck will be playing we'll be playing the Brilliant Fusion engine. Again, this is an early draft of the deck, although it was very successful. I'm sure someone within the next few weeks will just blow out and just make the standard list for this. But yeah, we'll see. I feel like a lot of people are going to be dropping the Brilliant Fusions, but I still like it. Another new card, Dinoster, the Mighty Draco Slayer. The fusion, it's 2k attack, 2950D. You tribute a Draco Slayer Pendulum Monster and one other Pendulum Monster to special summon it. And as long as it's on the field, your Pendulum Monsters on your field and in your zone cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And then once per turn, you can special summon a Draco Slayer monster from your hand or graveyard to the field, and it cannot be used as fusion material. So, yeah. So those are your fusions. And then, let's just make a pile. The 2 Ignister, the second one did come up a few times, so it's very good. I do want to get ultis, but they're like 20s, and I don't know. I need to find someone who will downgrade. But I decided, like, if I end up topping the regional, like, by some sort of miracle, I'm just going to go ahead and buy ultis, because I deserve it. And then a Nat Beast, because this card's amazing. Again, this helped. Actually, I think I only made this in the hero matchup, because like I just sat on this because he game one turn one he sets 5 pass, and I just played around the mirror force. Well, I kind of play into it to force him. But I read the Mirror Force Nat Beast defense and then just started swinging, and then once I got Infinity, it was just like pew pew. So yeah, Nat Beast is pretty crazy. Dark Law never got dropped. Which Dark Law is a pain in the ass in this deck. Castel, which this card's insane. Like, it's just, you go into it all the time. Emerald, I made this a few times. Dweller, I mean, I never played BA or Cosmo, but I still think, well, it's better against BA, but it's still relevant against Cosmo to a degree. But I still think BA are going to be a relevant deck, at least at the regional, so I need to play that. King of the Feralims just to get Palmero. Or Lizdra if you want. Trapeze, another card I made a lot. Very good. Magister, card I feel is definitely better in this deck than the Magician build. It has more synergy, I think, with this, and it's just more relevant. I found myself making it more. And then the best combo, Ptolemaeus, Nova, Infinity. This card is so dumb. I actually didn't make it a ton, and I think I got like warnings like twice, but I'd rather them obviously warning this than my Pendulum summon. But the thing I wanted to talk about this is Cyber Dragon Core, which is the level 2 thing that people are using to make Chimera Tech. Now, obviously, that's for the Cosmo matchup to get rid of their their spaceships. But someone actually sided in against me just for this, and he used it to get it off the board. But that was a misplay on my part, because the thing about Core, and this part I already knew, but I forgot that I could negate it. This thing negates any card effect once per turn by detaching. Cyber Dragon Nova, when it is summoned, if you don't know, when it's normal summoned, you search like a Cyber Dragon spell a trap card. That is a mandatory trigger, which I already knew, but because it has to activate, you can actually negate it with Infinity and destroy it. I'm almost positive that is the correct ruling. And I knew it was a mandatory effect, but I forgot I could negate it. Like, I just wasn't thinking about it. But I realized that as soon as this hit the graveyard, I was like, fuck. I obviously still won. But, yeah, so if you encounter that, just so you know, also, with Core, you don't, even if you don't have anything to negate it, or you choose not to negate it for whatever reason, when they summon Core, because it is a mandatory trigger, I mean, unless they're playing a Cyber Dragon deck, if they say no effect, you can be like, it's a mandatory trigger, I get to look through your deck to confirm that you have no targets. So it lets you look at the deck, which, I mean, if you kind of want to be a scumbag, go for it. But, yeah, just so you know, with Infinity, if someone does that to you, you can negate it with this. So yeah, but this card is absolutely amazing, and then just, this card's really good. But, yeah, so this is like the deck right here, this very expensive tier 0 deck that is obviously very good, and I'm hoping to get my invite this weekend. I still don't have it, which feels stupid because I've been to so many regionals, so I don't have my fucking invite. But yeah, or this regional this season. But yeah, that is the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any better ideas with the deck, this is definitely going to be the best deck, at least until the next set, because everyone's like saying that Morphages are gonna be good, but I think they're kind of slow, and this deck is so fast. And we're getting the True Draco Awakening, that ridiculous shit that can drop the Ritual without having a Ritual summon it. So, yeah, lots of fun. This deck is amazing. It's a lot of fun to play, and just to watch your opponent be like, fuck, because like the second they see this card, they're like, they know they're in for a fun time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.